morning, children. Welcome to your English video lecture. So children, as you all know that in our previous class we have started the topic pronouns. Okay, and in pronouns we were doing kinds of pronouns, right? This is the second part of your English video lecture. Okay, we are doing English language part, and in English language we are doing the topic pronouns. Okay, so this is the second part, and in the previous part I have already explained to all of you that what are pronouns. Okay, how many types of pronouns are there, and in types of pronoun we have already discussed personal pronoun, right? We have discussed personal pronoun, reflexive and emphasizing pronoun, and also demonstrative pronoun. Now today we are going to discuss the rest 4 types of pronouns. So I remember that I have also given you the homework in the previous video, where I have told you to do the exercise from exercise 1 to exercise 5, right? Because I have already explained these topics. Exercise 5, right here, till here I have given you homework, right? Exercise 5. Now today, moving on, the topic for today, we are going to do the kinds of pronoun. Okay, first of all let's do a recap that what are pronouns. So what are pronouns, children? Pronouns are the words that we use instead of noun, right? Pronouns are the words that we use instead of noun. And why we do so? Because to avoid the repetition of noun in our sentences, right? So moving further, the fourth type of noun that we are going to discuss right now is indefinite pronoun. Which type of pronoun? Indefinite pronoun. So let's first of all examine few sentences. All are not happy. Okay, so here all is indefinite pronoun. Okay, some are born great. How many? Some are born great. So here in both the sentences you can notice that all and some, they both are referring to what? They are referring to, they are not referring to any particular person. So here in both the sentences you can see all and some, they both are not referring to a particular person or a thing. So whenever we use these type of pronoun which does not refer to a particular person or a thing, that is known as indefinite pronoun. So for the definition of indefinite pronoun, what are indefinite pronouns? Indefinite pronouns are those pronouns which does not refer to any particular person or thing. Which does not or do not refer to any particular person or a thing. Like for example, let's see, examine sixth sentence, the number 6. None but fools can believe him. None means no one, right? But in this there is not the quantity or the specification of members are not given. How many? You don't know. None can include any type of number, any form of number, right? Let's see example number 5 also. One cannot believe it. One cannot believe it. But here the one, which one? Who? It is not referring to a particular person or a particular thing. It is generally generally it is being said. So when the sentences include all those type of words which does not refer to any particular person or a thing, that is known as indefinite pronoun. Okay, I hope all of you understood what are indefinite pronoun. So children, now let's do this exercise number 6. Okay, I will do 2 to 3 questions to make you understand that what you have to do in this exercise, and the rest of the exercise is your homework. So I hope that you can do it by yourself by the explanation which I am giving you. Okay, so let's do the first one, some or none. So what you have to do is, the 2 options are given here. Okay, where the slash is mentioned, that means there are 2 options. So where the slash is mentioned, it means the 2 option, which is the 2 option between which the slash is mentioned. It means you have to choose from these 2 options that what is the suitable option for the sentence. Okay, so you have to choose between these 2. So what is the correct option for the first one? It is Some say she is foolish. So what is the answer? Some say she is foolish. Okay, now let's do the fifth part. Okay, fifth part, this one. Anyone or none of his friend believed him. So what is the correct option? Let's let's include both of them and let's see what is the meaning of the sentence. Okay, once we get the meaning, once we get the meaning, you can understand that what can be the correct option. So let's do the first part first. Anyone of his friend believed him. So the sentence is not making any sense. But when you include none of his friends believe him, it means that no one of his friends, they are believing him. So what is the answer? None of his friends believed him. Okay, so I have done first and the fifth part, and I hope that you understood that what are the. Okay, so I hope children that you can do this exercise 5 by yourself also. Okay, and if you have any doubt, you can ask me. Now let's move on. Let's move ahead. The next type of pronoun is distributive pronoun. What? Distributive pronoun. So let's examine few sentences here also to understand that what is distributive pronoun. Each of the following was given. Okay children, now let's read the sentences. The first one is, each of the girl was given a rose. Each of the girl was given a rose. So here the pronoun each. What it is showing? It is showing the distribution, right? It is showing the distribution of roses between the girls, right? Each by each, you can understand that every one of the girl, they are going to get the roses, right? Now let's say see another example. Either of the two pens will do. Either means any one of the pen can do. So here also it is showing the distribution of the word, right? So what are distributive pronouns? They basically, distributive pronouns are the pronouns which refers to a number of person or thing. Okay, one at a time. One at a time means at one time how many persons or thing we are taking, it refers to that. Okay, so let's read the definition children. In the above sentences, the pronoun each, either, neither refers to a number of persons or things one at a time. Such pronouns are called distributive pronouns. Okay, so distributive pronouns are the pronouns which refers to a person, number of persons or thing one at a time. Okay, and these pronouns are always singular and as such are always followed by a verb in the singular. Verb means the action word, right? Now let's move on. Now here in the following sentences, either, each, either, neither was used as an adjective. Okay, so here let's examine the sentences. Each boy received a reward. Each boy received a reward means every boy, they received a reward. So here in such cases they are followed by singular nouns. They are followed by singular nouns. So here each is the pronoun, and then okay, so here the adjectives, they are behaving like an adjectives. Which pronoun? Each, either, neither, they all are behaving like an like adjectives, where after the pronoun there is the singular nouns. Okay, there are singular nouns. Now let's move forward to the question answers. Here this exercise number 7, you have to do it in your fair notebooks children. So what you have to do in this exercise, underline the distributive pronouns and circle the distributive adjectives in the following sentences. First of all, you have to choose the distributive pronouns from the sentence, and also you have to circle the distributive adjectives in the following sentences. So here you can see that each is the distributive pronoun which is distributing the object, the thing between all the boys, right? What is the sentence? Each of the boys was given a prize. So here by this you can understand that every boy, right? Every boy, they got the prize. Okay, so this is the distributive pronoun. So you have to underline distributive pronoun. Then there is distributive adjective. So What is distributive adjective here? You can see that. Okay, children. So now the sixth type of pronoun is interrogative pronoun. So interrogative means, all of you know already that what is interrogative. Those words. So interrogative pronouns are those pronouns which helps, those words which helps to ask questions. Let's see see some examples here, children. The first one is, who made that noise? Who made that noise? So here the word who is a interrogative pronoun. Similarly, see the fourth example. Whom do you want to see? Right, so word whom is an interrogative. Okay, so children, you can see that those words which helps to ask questions, they are known as, or you can say they are used to use instead of interrogative pronoun. Means we call them interrogative pronoun if they helps us to ask questions, right? It will be seen that pronouns who, what, which, whom, whose are used for asking questions. So pronoun used for asking questions are called interrogative pronouns. Okay, with the help of interrogative pronouns we can ask some questions. Now let's move on to the next one, which is who, whom and whose are used for asking questions about person. Person means a a living thing, you can say. Person means log. Okay, for example, what is used for asking questions about thing? Okay, what is used for asking question about things, and who, whom and whose are used for asking question about persons. Okay, what is used for asking question about things, and which is used for asking questions about a particular person or particular thing. Particular means that we know that about which person or which thing we are talking about. Okay, children, so this is interrogative pronoun. Now after interrogative pronoun, we have to understand what is interrogative adjectives. So let's first of all examine the first and second part here. So in the first part, you can see that which way shall we take? Okay, which way shall we take? This is interrogative adjective. Now the second part, see it, which is your pen? That is interrogative pronoun. So now what is the difference between both of the sentences? That so we see that many of the words which work as pronoun can also work as they also can work as a adjective when they are placed before a noun. So whenever a pronoun is placed before a noun, it behaves like a adjective, especially in interrogative adjectives. So here you can see that in the first sentence, which way shall we take? It is interrogative adjective. Why? For interrogative adjective, what we have to see? We have to see that if the pronoun is placed before a noun. So here, which is placed before a noun, which is way. Okay, way is a noun, so it is a interrogative adjective. Similarly, in the second sentence, what is placed before a noun? Books, right? So it is a interrogative adjectives. Okay, so I hope you all understood what is interrogative adjectives. When a pronoun interrogative, when an interrogative pronoun is placed before a noun, it acts as an adjective. Which adjective? Interrogative adjectives. Okay, so here now exercise number 8. So children, what we have to do in exercise number 8, we have to fill the blanks with suitable interrogative pronouns or adjectives. Okay, so let's do first one, that is to dash did you give the message. So to dash, in this place, what type which interrogative pronoun we are going to place? It is going to be to whom. Okay, to whom did you give the message? Okay, so similarly you just have to put interrogative pronouns in the blanks. Okay, so I hope that all of you can try this by yourself, and if you have any doubt in any part, you can ask me. Okay, children, so now let's move on to relative pronouns. So what are relative pronouns? So basically, children, what happens, sometimes we use pronouns to join a sentence. Okay, why we use pronoun? To join a sentence. So here we will be looking into sentences, and then we will see that what the sentence is basically, the pronoun that we are using, helping us to how it is helping us to join the sentences. Okay, so let's see the first one. This is the man, he stole my purse. Okay, so these both are two different sentences, right? But when we have added a reflexive pronoun, okay, relative pronoun, sorry, when we have added relative pronoun, what happens? The sentence becomes, this is the man who stole my purse. Okay, who is a pronoun, right? It is a relative pronoun, not reflective, sorry. It is a relative pronoun. So here what the word who is doing, what actually who is behaving here, you can see that first of all, who does two things. Okay, what are those? First of all, it is joining two sentences, right? It is joining two sentences. And second is, it is also used for the noun man that goes before means first the noun here before, right? Before the noun, it is referring to the noun before, which is men. Okay, so this is the man who, by this you can understand which man. Who, who means which man, right? Who means man. So who stole my purse. Okay, understood. Now see the second one. Second one is, this is the boy, his nature is good. Okay, so these two are two different sentences, but with the help of relative pronoun we have joined these two sentences. Okay, how? Let's see it. This is the boy whose nature is good. So here the word whose is doing two things. What are those two things? First is, it is joining two sentences. Okay, and second is, it is also used to it is also used for the noun boy that goes before it, right? It is referring to the noun before it, which is boy. Okay, now let's move on to the third one. This is the boy, the teacher praised him. This is the boy, the teachers praised him. Okay, these are two different sentences. Now how, with the help of which the pronoun we have joined two sentences? It is, this is the boy whom the teacher praised. So here you can see that in above two set of sentences, what happened is, we have just added a pronoun instead of the word, right? Instead of the word where the word was actually placed. But here in this sentence, the pronoun is at the last, right? But reflective pronoun, we have added it in the, not at the last part of the sentence, or you can say at the end of the sentence. Okay, so here whom is doing what? Whom is also doing two things. First is, it is joining the sentences, right? It is joining both the sentences, and it also used for noun boy that goes before it, right? It is also referring to the noun which is placed before it. Okay, now let's move on to the fourth part, which is, this is the house, Jack built it. Okay, so now let's see the relative pronoun here. This is the house that Jack built. So here that is reflective pronoun. Okay, so here you can see in all the sentences, the word that we are using is doing what? The pronoun that we are using is doing what? It is first of all joining the sentences, and it is also referring the noun placed before it, right? The noun which is placed, which goes before it. Okay, so I hope all of you understood. So here you can see what the pronoun who, whom, whose, which and that, which join two sentences are refer back to the noun. Refer back to the noun, goes before them, are called reflective noun. Okay, so whenever two sentences are joined with the help of a noun, okay, and it refers back to the noun which goes before them, it is known as reflective pronoun. The pronoun in which a reflective pronoun the noun to which reflective pronoun is referred is known as accidents. Okay, it is known as antecedents. Okay, so noun to which pronoun is referred. The noun to which relative pronoun refers or relates is called antecedents. Okay, I hope you all understood this part. Now let's see here, children. In this part, what we have to do, we have to underline the relative pronoun and circle the antecedents. So a relative pronoun is what? Which is joining these two sentences. Okay, so we have to underline that, and we have to circle the antecedents. Okay, antecedent, we have to underline it. We have to circle the antecedent. Okay, children, now let's see what we have to do in exercise 9. Underline the relative pronoun and circle their antecedents in the following. So I already explained what you have to do in this. So let's do 2 to 3 questions here, because so that you understand what is relative pronoun here, which is joining the sentence, and what is antecedent. Okay, which means to which the relative pronoun is referring to. Okay, so in the first sentence, God helps those who help themselves. So here 2 sentences, which word is joining 2 sentences, which pronoun is helping to join 2 sentences? It is who. Okay, so who, you have to underline who. Let me use another marker here. Yes, so who is the relative pronoun? Who is the relative pronoun here, and what is antecedents here? So here you can see the noun which who is referring to is those. Okay, so this is antecedents. Now let's see the second one. It is only donkeys that bray. So here, which is the relative pronoun? That is the relative pronoun. What is relative pronoun here? That. Okay, so let's underline this one. Yes, so that is relative pronoun and donkey is antecedents. Okay, let's do another one. Let's do question number 9. Right, the child whose parents are dead is called an orphan. Okay, so a child whose parents are dead, the child whose parents are dead is called orphan. So which word is joining both the sentences, 2 sentences? That is whose. Okay, whose. And here what is the noun placed before whose? That is child, which is referring to, whose is referring to whom? The noun child here. Okay, children, so I hope you all understood how you have to do this. Okay, now let's move on and see what are the uses of relative pronoun. Okay, so relative pronoun who, when are we going to use who? Okay, who is used for person only. Okay, so whenever we are going to talk about a person, then we are going to use the relative pronoun who. Okay, it may refers to singular or plural noun or pronoun. Okay, so relative pronoun who is used only for persons, and it may refer to singular, plural, or plural noun or pronouns. Okay, so let's see example here. The boy who works hard succeeds. Okay, the boy who works hard succeeds. So here the boy, so here you can see that it is used for a person. Similarly, the woman who saw the tricks were surprised. Okay, so here also it is used for a person. It can be singular, it can be plural. Okay, children, so who, or so when we use who, I hope that you understood that. Which, now we are going to talk about which is used for animals and things. So we are going to use which for animals and things. Okay, and it may also refers to singular or plural noun. Let's see how. The horse which won the race in is Bali's. Okay, so the horse which win the race is Bali's. So here which is used for the animal, right? Let's see for thing. The pens which we lost have been found. Okay, so here which is also referring to thing, right? Pen is a thing. So when we are going to use which? For animals and things. Okay, for animals and things, if we are going to talk about animals and things, and we have to join 2 sentences, then we are going to use reflex relative pronoun which. Okay, Now next is that. So that is used for person, animal and things. Okay, it is used for person, animal and things, and it may refer to singular or plural. Okay, let's see some examples. These are the boys that can be trusted. So it is used for, in this sentence it is used for which? Person, right? Boys are person. This is the horse that I want to buy. So here horse, which is animal, right? Now let's see for things. These are the books that I have read. So here also that relative pronoun is used with things. Okay, so who is used for persons, which is used for animals and things, and that is used for person, animal and things. Okay, so I hope you understood this much. So students, here let's see exercise number 10. Filling the blanks with suitable relative pronouns. So what you have to do, you have to write the suitable relative pronoun which you feel that joins the two sentences. He dash is content is rich. Okay, he dash is. So children, let's see the third question here, which is God help those who help themselves. So here in this blank what we are going to fill? Who help themselves. Okay, now let's see another one, which is let's say fifth one. This is the boy that hit me. What we are going to fill here? That. Okay, so all of you have to see that which relative pronoun will join these two sentences. Okay, so rest up is your homework, children. So children, how many exercises are I have given to you in your homework now? It is distributive pronouns. From today I have taken distributive pronouns, right? So from distributive pronouns, that means from exercise number, yes, not distributive pronoun, we have started from indefinite pronoun, right? So from indefinite pronoun, which is exercise number 6. So your homework is from exercise number 6 to 10. Okay, and if you have any doubt even after watching the video to understand any particular part of the video, so you can ask me and I will explain you that in the next video. Okay children, so your homework is to do exercise number 6 to which up to what? Up to exercise number 10. Okay, here children, your this chapter is over. Okay, so I hope if you understood the exercises, if you have clearly understood all the things, then it is very good. And if you don't, you should not you don't have to hesitate to answer ask me any questions. So children, here I will be ending the video. Okay, and I hope I am repeating this once again, that your homework is to do, you have to do exercise number 6 to 10 in your FAIR notebook, FAIR English Language notebook. Okay, thank you children.